So yeah, it's official. I'll never be able to go near a rabbit or a pair of scissors ever again. Hello everybody, my name is Colin, and today I'm going to be doing another video. This time I want to do, I don't really have an actual name for this video, it's just a spoiler discussion of Us. I'm going to be discussing Easter eggs, themes in the film, some foreshadowing, and just all the little details I think many of you missed in your viewing of Us. Now, I put a spoiler tag in the description of this video, so you should know that to watch this video, you must have seen the film. And why would you be here watching my video? I don't want you watching my video. I want you to go watch Us. It's an incredible film. I loved it so much. It's easily my favorite movie of the year. It's going to be really hard to beat. I'd say there's like an 80% chance it stays there. I mean, it just is... I've become so obsessed with this. I needed to do 2 videos on this because I love this film so much. So, without further ado, spoilers for everything in Us. You should know that. Let's get into it. So yeah, I think that Get Out was easily one of my favorite movies of 2017 and one of the best horror movies in years, but I think this tops it. This film can be a lot like The Shining in the future in the way that film was studied and analyzed. There's just so many little hidden details that a lot of you guys didn't notice in this movie, so I'm going to break them down. There was a Lost Boys reference very early in the film. They say they're shooting something down by Santa Cruz, and that would have been when the Lost Boys was actually being shot in Santa Cruz. Now, at the end of the film, it is revealed to us that the actual Red is the original Adelaide, and that Adelaide is the original Red, who as a child took the original Adelaide and switched them. And there are actually many little details in the film that end up pointing out to this. The ballet, as she was forced to do, and they actually mimic their exact movements and other stuff like that. They had to eat what they ate, but not exactly. It also had kind of a polar opposite type of thing. And it's just such a shocking twist. And another detail is, as a kid, she obviously could only speak a little bit. She says, once upon a time when she appears first in the film, probably because she learned from fairy tales as a kid. And in the opening, when you see that Hands Across America thing, that connects to the end when you see them all holding hands together. So it's all really set up in the opening scene, and it comes back to you at the end. So lots of foreshadowing. Also, Adelaide, we'll call her Adelaide, she can't keep up to the rhythm. That's a little detail because as a 6-year-old, she's always had trouble talking, and I think that could be a reference to the scene with where they're talking with the therapist, and she's had trouble talking lately because it's her first time talking. Now, I think what Jordan Peele is trying to say with the true message of the film being that we should be afraid of ourselves, it's very haunting because that's what the Tethered are based off of. Also, she sticks to the rhythm of the ballet as she's able to knock out Red. And when she does kill her, she has a very maniacal, evil laugh, which is very terrifying. But also, Red is the only one of the Tethered that can actually speak, and she doesn't speak very well since she's obviously speaking from a child's perspective. But also you have the title Us, which can be translated to US, and when the Tethered first shows up, Red's first line, I think it's one of the first things she says is, "We're Americans." Now, you guys probably catch a lot of the Jeremiah 11:11 symbolism in the movie, which is in the Bible. It says, "Therefore, this is the Lord, I am about to bring upon them a disaster they cannot escape. They will cry out to me, but I will not listen to them." And also, when you listen to the Giants baseball game, it says 11:11, which is weird for a baseball score. Also, the ambulance is 11:11, and also the alarm clock. So lots of that in the film. Also, 11:11, it's the only minute in the entire day that is completely symmetrical. You also have the scissors in the movie, which I thought worked greatly. And scissors, when one goes one way, the other goes the other way, which I think in many ways is meant to symbolize how the normal humans go one way and then the tethered go the other way. We then have a moment later in the film where Zora says a conspiracy theory about how the government are poisoning their water. Of course, this is a fake conspiracy theory in our world, but in their world it's not that crazy, as they did the experiment on the tethered, and she actually also says a line that nobody cares about the end of the world, and at the end of the film, much that does happen. Now, let's take this moment to finally talk about those cuddly little bastards, the rabbits. The rabbits in this movie really kind of represent innocence in the way that they're what's eaten by the tethered, But also, it's very weird that Jordan Peele chose rabbit as the animal, as the human body cannot survive off of just rabbit, which I think might be intentional, because that would kind of be saying that they're not truly human, which they really aren't, obviously from a government experiment. Now, it's revealed later in the film, I already talked about how real Adelaide's the real Red, but I think that there's also a theory circulating online that Jason might not be the real Jason, as he kind of shrugs off at the end. And him and Adelaide are the only ones that are really kind of attached to their doppelgangers in a certain sort of way, obviously with his Chewbacca mask. Now, also when Red takes him later in the film, that could be because he is actually her original son, as she didn't hurt him in any way. But also, he sings along the song with Adelaide, and they both sing together out of sync, which might imply that he is also an original tethered. Now, oh my god, there's so much more to talk about. The comedy in this movie was gold. I thought all the chemistry between the cast. Winston Duke did a great job. And really, at the end of the day, it's about a family trying to defend themselves. And you also have that crazy WTF moment in the movie when the Tylers just get slaughtered out of nowhere. A normal scene. And then you have that. And then they try to call the cops with Alexa, and that was a really funny scene as it just changed to a song, because that's actually pretty realistic, as Siri sometimes has no idea what the hell I'm saying. But guys, I know there's lots of other Easter eggs, like there's a Goonies poster in the background, and tons of other stuff I could talk about, but I mainly want to talk about what I saw. Now, thank you all for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what did you think of Us? Did you realize anything I didn't talk about yet? I love this film so much, and I want to talk about it with you guys so much. So, yeah, please share this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will hasta la vista.